Vinashakadesh Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindaye Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadram Jagannataya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Vaidyanatara
Text 311. Devan bhavayata nina te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayanta shreya param avapsyatha. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. The supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of God. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yagyas by the human society, the human being. Some of the yagyas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in doing so, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in all the yagyas as the chief beneficiary. It is said also in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is the beneficiary of all kinds of yagyas. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the yagyapati is the chief purpose of all the yagyas. When these yagyas are perfectly performed, naturally the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased. And there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products. Performance of yagyas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage. By performance of yagyas, all activities become purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. Ahara shuddho sattva shuddhi, sattva shuddho dhruva smriti, smriti nabhe sarva grantinam vipramokshanam. By the performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foods, one's very existence becomes purified, and by the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become satisfied, sanctified, and when the memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of the present day society. it is a greater business to give away the mentality of business. The difference between Karma Kanda and the Karma Yoga is that in Karma Kanda, the focus is on returns. Too much focus on their returns. But sometimes one gets so much focused on return that he does not invest only. Because the consciousness is so much return. And one forgets that return is activated by investment. So many times actually, this is what happens in material world. Like sometimes two people look at each other and they're looking at each other and then wondering, if this person bends down a little bit for me, I will also bend down. And the other person is thinking, if this person a little bit bends, then I will bend. And both are looking at each other. And instead of bending, both are becoming like that. And no return is happening. The point is that both are ready to bend, but just because the return consciousness is so strong, the return. And therefore, instead of bending, both are becoming like this. And therefore, the whole scene is in a deadlock. Because of the deadlock. And the things are not getting resolved. And then no resolution is just taking place. Like that. So this is the hallmark of material culture actually. That many times activity only doesn't take place. Investment only does not take place. It happens even in material relationships like that. And a person is thinking, if this Prabhu once tells me that, my dear Prabhu, I understand you, I am ready to do anything for you. And the other Prabhu is thinking, if this Prabhu does something at least, then something can be told and given and things like that. So it's a deadlock. It's a deadlock. So the main problem of material consciousness or spiritual relationships in material world, basically material consciousness is that one is so much obsessed about what's going to come ahead that one does not take a step only. One doesn't take a step only forward. And therefore in this material world nothing moves. And things deteriorate. And everything crumbles and crashes down. Just like two people, they are having a tussle and one is thinking, यदि ये एक बार sorry बोल देना तो मैं छोड़ दूँगा सब, The other person is thinking something similar like that, ठीक है मैं उसके पैर पे पड़ लूँगा लेकिन वो एक बार बोलना चाहिए, कि it's okay, fine, let's dissolve it, let's start fresh. But both are thinking like this and nobody takes a step forward. And the situation not happens, the relationship becomes worse. So the point to be understood, the point has to be thoroughly understood. Why there are deadlocks in Karma Kanda? Because person does not take a step of investment only. He's simply making mental imaginations. If this happens then, if that happens then, So this is how Maya keeps a living entity in conditional entanglement. Because the condition of getting out of entanglement, Maya makes sure वो satisfy नहीं होगा, like that. Because to satisfy that condition of coming out of entanglement, the other person, some other condition has to be satisfied. To satisfy that, from here some condition has to be satisfied. So इस तरह से material mesh becomes very complicated. It is an unsolvable problem. Even computers cannot solve it. By the way, most of the problems of this world computers cannot solve. If you understand, if you learn the science of computer working and the basis fundamentals of computer science, you will understand most of the problems computers cannot solve. Sometimes they solve some problems. So that is the whole concept of, there is a whole technical concept behind this called a non-decidability and decidability. And decidability class is very small as compared to non-decidability class. That means you cannot make a computer who can solve it. So most of the problems in this world, cannot be solved by God. So that goes to show that the solution has to be on a spiritual platform. And therefore, whenever we are in a deadlock, whenever one is not understanding what is to be done, whenever there is confusion, one should remember that one word: sacrifice. That's why the Lord is telling, this is the pathway to happiness. Saha yogya praja shrishta purovacha prajapati. Yesterday's verse. So we are not understanding what to do. And what should we do? Remember that one word: sacrifice. Our expectations are not being met. What to do? Sacrifice. Our demands are not being considered. What to do? Sacrifice. So that is the point actually. And that is called as karma yoga. Yoga means sacrifice. This is the hallmark difference actually. Because in karma kanda, although karma kanda also is purifying, but the problem is obviously slow, but although it is purifying, the problem is that a person becomes so much deadlocked by these conditions and ifs and buts which never get satisfied, he does not take a motion of the follow. So sometimes devotees feel that, why should I apply Shastric principles and Vaishnava principles? From this corner, Vaishnava principles are not coming. From that corner, Vaishnava principles are not coming. Now the question is that in this corner it's not coming, that corner not coming. At least this corner it should. Some corner it should come. Isn't that? Like that. और इसे नहीं पहले उधर से आना चाहिए, फिर उधर से आना चाहिए, फिर उधर से आना चाहिए, फिर यहाँ से देखेंगे, है ना? But everybody is thinking like this and it's a deadlock. So how do you resolve? Just like sometimes there are some arguments, and some devotee non-devotee combo, or some devotee combo, or some mature and some not so mature devotee combo, or some mature and highly mature devotee combo, or any kind of combo. Arguments are taking place, and it's going on and it's going on this way, that, this. So what is the solution? Sometimes 1 घंटा, 2 घंटा, 3 घंटा चले जा रहा है ना? Samadhi, the platform of Samadhi is really, ecstasy is happening, all the rasas are being shuffled up. What is the rescue? What is the way out? The way out is that at least one person has to just get up, drink water, say Hare Krishna, take a bit back and move. That is the solution actually. That's the solution. Like that. Similarly, you go to preach and people are too argumentative, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes you can play. When we understand, ये तो टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलने के मोड में है ना? ये 2020 वाला आदमी नहीं है ना? So टेस्ट क्रिकेट फेलो है ना? ये तो जीवन बिता देगा ना? So when we understand that, what is the solution? But if you say नहीं, इसका तो मैं प्रूव कर दूँगा अभी ना? Then you will say no, but. And then you say no, but, है ना? So there is no solution, there is no end to that which happens, उसका end यही है, उठ जाओ, एक प्रसाद निकालो, उसके मुंह में डाल दो, मुंह बंद, भाग जाओ. That is the only solution to that. है कि नहीं ना? That's the only solution to that. So, you know the solution. And that is why Karma Kanda is a blockage platform actually. ज़्यादा कुछ हिलता नहीं उधर ना. Although platform needs purification, but because of these conditions and ifs and buts, the whole thing becomes strangled up and it becomes a blockage. इसलिए the way out of blockage is sacrifice. That is the way out. So the thing is that, so therefore the concept moves. So because motion means you have to do something. And actually, this is such a beautiful principle. The sacrifice is such a beautiful principle. That such a forward motion takes place. So sometimes it's a misnomer. Sometimes devotees feel that because now things are moving, not moving ahead in the straight way, I will move it in such a way that all Sam, Dam, Danda, Bhed, everything will be applied. And people will keep wondering, kaun sa algorithm mara hai, like that. So there are always multiple ways to solve problems. There is a material way to solve problem. There is a exploitative way to solve a problem. There is a passionate way to solve a problem. And there is a purifying way to solve problems. Now, a sadhaka has to be introspective and evaluative. And okay, given a problem, which way the problem can be solved? And what is the lasting solution? Is it that? We hear this example so many times. Somebody has a cataract, you pluck out the eye, that is also a solution. Somebody has a problem, infection in the hand, you cut off his hand, that is also a solution. Or somebody has a problem, you just close your eye, that is also a solution. I dig a problem. मुझे कोई problem नहीं होना चाहिए, no? That is also a solution. So there are hundreds of solutions possible actually. So what we have to analyze is that what is an offering to Krishna? What will create a lasting impact? Just like we go out for preaching, now we can tell people, I am senior, do you understand that? You have to come for the program. And that fellow will come also. Is it not? So senior. But how long it lasts? You come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, finish. And then he'll start thinking, Abhi main bhi to senior ban raha hu. Now why should I come? Is it not? So he'll start playing tricks, start playing games. Is it not? An advancement of civilization. It's like recently devotees were telling Prabhu this year, so advanced civilization. So what happened? He said, Prabhu, after 5 sessions, people used to lock their doors and sit inside. This time I'm finding the first session only people are doing like that. बाहर से लॉक और अंदर बैठ के टाइम पास कर रहा है मैंने कहा कि आप ऊपर चढ़ के देखे थे क्या? नहीं ब्रो, मुझे पता चल गया. So very interesting, like that. So the point is that if that kind of material solution is taken, it is not going to be sometimes to threaten a case, one may take shelter of his authority and his and marpit ke jabardasti it drives it. But then people are not able to take it up. The situation becomes more problematic later. So the point is that actually these material principles are not going to live. So therefore, one needs to understand that let me stand by spiritual principles of life. That is the factor actually. That is the hallmark of yoga systems. So yoga does not mean not somehow or the other. Yoga means quality action. Material consciousness is somehow or the other. Yoga means quality action. Which principle, which dharma is being applied here? That has to be proven to ourselves first before we act actually. So that is why it is said that the performance of yajna has many side benefits. And therefore we see karma yoga. Here what the Lord is telling. And if you see the previous verse, the Lord is saying, don't worry, all prosperity will be there. That is how I have designed this world. I have given this yajna. So you see the previous verse, the Lord is giving assurance. And here the Lord is repeating the assurance actually. That prosperity will be there. Don't worry. So just karma kanda does not ensure prosperity because blockage comes in between. But karma yoga has a side benefit called as prosperity. That is the beauty. So when we take to a superset understanding, the beauty is that what one wanted in a subset consciousness, that will by default happen. And much more will happen. You see the beauty actually. So therefore we were making a point yesterday that bhakti is not a torturous concept. It is a happy concept actually. And if it is a torturous concept, मतलब कहीं तो कांड भांड में अटके हुए हैं ना, ना गाड़ी कांड भांड के बाहर ही नहीं आ रहा है ना, like that. So this is such a beautiful principle. The Lord is telling you, just think in terms of yajna, offering. You just offer things to me. Don't worry. And everything will be satisfied. The Lord is telling, don't worry, demigods are there. So cooperation between man and demigod. And Prabhupada is explaining what is the meaning of cooperation between man and demigod? You serve Krishna. That is cooperation. And demigods will give you. What a beautiful principle. What a revelation the Lord is giving here. Please try to understand. The Lord is telling you, do your part. If nobody gives you, I will give you. What a beautiful principle. God is saying, you do your part. You focus on yajna. And so many times we are so much obsessed. I am not getting this from here, that from here, that from here, and all like that. You are so much obsessed. I am not getting this, I am not getting that, I am not getting love, I am not getting encouragement, I am not getting facilities, I am not getting this. What the Lord is telling here. You come out of this consciousness. It is a blockage consciousness. You know, it's like that actually. And the Lord is going to supply. And how? That is the magic of bhakti which we will see manifesting. But the step has to be taken by the sadhaka. That is the point. So this material world always acts in this way, that we take the first step and then what does it mean will be revealed to us. And then the results will be revealed to us. It is always like that. First one gives competitive examination, then he is selected or deselected. Even if he is selected, first he goes and takes admission. Then first he gives exams, then he is given CGPA. First he clears his exam, then he is given degree. Isn't it? First there is exam, then there is job. And even when the company gives job, a person himself has to go and report. Isn't that? Then he first works for 1 month, then he gets salary. Reverse नहीं होता है ना? कि पहले salary और फिर हर extra. ऐसा कभी होता है क्या? नहीं होता है. Right. So this material world works like this. First we have to act. Isn't it? If you want somebody to do good to you, first you do good to him. You लो प्रभु आपके लिए. Enjoy. Not like that. So you see, this is material principle actually. This is the way material world works actually. Problem is actually we are used to spiritual consciousness. In spiritual world it happens the other way. First Krishna comes and embraces. You know? And I was, oh, Krishna has come, Haribo. So it's like that. Or, you know, so, you know, the spiritual world works in that way actually. You know? You will see that, isn't that? Radharani sitting and she's doing Shringa and Krishna will come and play some trick, and the beautiful reciprocation starts. The spiritual world likes that, works like that, isn't that? Material world क्या है? थोड़ा reverse consciousness है ना? First, sometimes some devotees keep figuring out कि मुझे एक भी example मिल जाए मुझे ठीक ठाक तो मैं सब कर दूँगा ना. But everybody is thinking like that, है ना? But everybody thinks like that actually. एक example चाहिए, एक example. नहीं है तो खुद ही मिल जाएगा, क्या problem क्या है ना? Isn't that, है ना? Sometimes the internal manager is always, sitting with his head, banging his head. तो क्या हो गया? एक भी devotee नहीं है इससे बड़ा, है ना? But if you understand, अरे कोई नहीं दिख रहा है आपको तो खुद ही कर दो, उसमें क्या है ना? इसे नड़ीक तो है. So, yajna is the game. Sacrifice is the game. Actually.
This is a material principle.
This is the way of working of the material world actually. If you want to get out of this material world, this is the way. This is motion dynamics. समझना चाहिए, नहीं समझेंगे तो समझ में नहीं आता है ना. The inertia of taking the first step forward, like that. That is the point. So therefore, we see that, and everything gets resolved by that. You will see that everything gets resolved. So that is why we see this is the beauty of Karma Yoga. What a revelation by the Lord here, actually. Yes.
So, but Maharaj says that when the problems are there, so you should not expect that you should be like coming out of it. Sometimes Krishna's mercy can be that it takes away everything from us and like that. So in the problem, our aim should not be to get rid of it. Otherwise, that's the desire of mercy. So in the problem should be desire or not? That let this problem go away so that I can practice bhakti nicely.
Yeah, there is no problem because the point is that you see we are conditioned, and too much choking conditions are there, it becomes difficult to move. So we can work in such ways and pray and endeavor that we can resolve and create some space because we are conditioned actually. So the principle should be there that let me not create, like what is Vaishnava principle? Now somebody is getting choked up, and he is not able to carry on his duties. Now one way is that one can fight, shout, yell, क्या तमाशा लगा के रखा है, ये कोई भक्ति है, ये कोई spiritual setup है, you can fight, shout, yell, howl, That one way of resolving the problem. One way is ठीक है, मैं transparent हूँ, but there is another way also. The other way is okay that if one is getting choked up, we need some space. We can express that space, but we can express it in a humble way. थोड़ा सा consider कर सकते. This is a need. It's a little bit also considered. I can get some space to serve. Not be very stingy, stringent, fighting, shouting. You understand? That is how it has to be. Because we are conditioned souls actually. Understanding that I should not create too much trouble for others. I should not create too much pressure for others. But sometimes we see that if you are not able to move, you have to request others. थोड़ा सा space. I'm not able to move my hand, legs, anything. कुछ भी move कर सकूँ तो something can happen. So we'll have to, on a request mode, having the consciousness कि ज़्यादा these things I should not take too much shelter of. But sometimes it's required. Take it. That way.
That is also part of the idea.
That is part of, because we are conditioned, we need certain situations, like that. However, in our endeavors, we will see that some or the other time situations are in a deadlock. Whatever we do, things are not getting resolved. At that time, sacrifice. You know, beautiful principle. Huh? Like, huh? No, it is not that. You know, this is not abnegation. This is conditions. Many times we put conditions, and because those conditions not satisfied, we are not taking the step. So what you have to sacrifice is the condition, not the activity of taking a step towards Krishna. ये बहुत मुश्किल है भक्ति sacrifice है ना. ये भक्ति में बहुत सरदर्दी है, मारामारी है. Sacrifice है ना. नहीं, that is not the principle. Sacrifice means towards Krishna है ना. है कि नहीं? है ना? है कि नहीं ना? Sacrifice, everything is a, no? So things in this world are not scalar, you know? Please don't consider them scalar. They are vector quantities, you know, like that. So your direction has to be very clear, you know? Isn't that? Even if you have a very big quantity, but if your direction is wrong, उसका कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा ना? क्योंकि उसका cosine component zero आ जाएगा ना? Projection component, understand ना? Direction is very important. What is sacrifice? Yajna means Krishna, towards Krishna. है? So you cannot say, you know, अरे ना, जा रहा हूँ मैं ना. Reverse direction में sacrifice करना चाहिए. So ऐसा हो जाता है actually. Mind is very strong. So many times one is not able to understand किस direction में sacrifice करना है, किस direction में continue करना है ना, है ना? तो therefore ना क्या होता है, ये गड़बड़ हो जाता है actually, flip flop हो जाता है ना, and things are very tough. Person thinks कि ना भक्ति की direction में छोड़ देता हूँ ना, you know, and I will continue with my sense gratification. At least कुछ तो मिल रहा है उधर ना. So this is a trap, you know, we have to be careful. है कि नहीं? So that's important. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue next week with text to Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.